Hello guys, and welcome back to International Night. On this episode, we are celebrating the country of Tunisia, the small but mighty country in North Africa, sandwiched in between Algeria and Libya. It's a country that has so much to offer, especially in the food scene. It has inspired many different films, including cultural icon films like Star Wars. So today we're going to be making baklava. In my last episode, I said baklava looked hard to make, but upon further research, it actually looks quite doable, and you only need a few ingredients. It doesn't take extremely long to make. It takes about an hour and a half. The main ingredient is filo dough, which I will link in the description below. I was able to find this at Whole Foods. I'm also going to be using honey instead of sugar. Instead of butter, I will be using olive oil. You also need raw nuts, so walnuts, almonds, pecans, anything you have on hand will do just fine. And I'm also going to add some cinnamon. Those are the main ingredients. And last but not least, we are going to use the rind of a lemon to give it a little zest. And on that note, let's make it. So first things first is you want to thaw the filo dough. I left it in the fridge overnight, and then I left it out for about 2 hours so that it's soft and malleable to work with. So there's a couple utensils you're going to need. One is a brush, and then the other thing is some sticks or skewers. So the recipe that I'm drawing inspiration from for the baklava today is Aya's Corner. She's from Tunisia. She has a blog and a YouTube channel where she cooks all different types of cuisine from Tunisia. And I'm drawing inspiration from her today because I want that authenticity into this dish. I'm gonna chop these nuts, and if you have a food processor, it'll go by even faster. So next I have a baking sheet here. I'm gonna grease the pan. And if you have butter or ghee, you could use that instead, but I'm using olive oil today. Okay, so the shape I'm going to make these in is little cigars. This is going to go very lightly coated. Skewers here. I'm going to fold this over and start rolling. And then when we reach the ends, smush them up. Okay, so this is actually pretty fun to make so far. I've never done this before, and when you travel, there's many things that you've never done before. There's foods you've never tried, cultural experiences that are new to you as well. So that's really the beauty of travel. So during this time, when we're all staying at home, if you can try to do something that you normally aren't used to doing, whether it's cooking something new, trying a new food, trying a new route to work, learning a new dance, all of that gets you into the spirit of getting out of your comfort zone and traveling. Tunisia is a small country, but it's really packed with a lot of diverse landscapes, from beautiful tropical Mediterranean waters to deserts. The Sahara Desert is there. This is the place that inspired Star Wars. So a lot of the scenery and even character names and planet names were inspired by Tunisia. Filming Star Wars was really a passion project for George Lucas. He spent months out in the desert in Matmata and other locations, literally in the middle of nowhere. George Lucas was so forward-thinking and so futuristic that a lot of people didn't understand what was really being built, and he had so many insurmountable challenges during the filming that it's really inspiring to see someone overcome those and really create something that is a cultural icon. So one of the things that makes Tunisia really unique from, say, Morocco or Egypt is that it has the Star Wars film sets that are still intact as if they were just filmed there today. And the film sets are actually Berber homes. In the middle of the desert, Berber people, they live in basically caves underground to insulate themselves from the heat. Really interesting to go into these homes and see exactly where it was filmed. It was just this sense of wonder and nostalgia that brought me back to when I first saw those films. The filo dough is very delicate and very breakable, so be careful. Just as a finishing touch, before I put these in the oven, I'm going to coat them with a little bit more olive oil so that they get a nice shine at the top. I have my baking sheet with the baklava, and it's going to go into the oven for about 50 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, about 170 degrees Celsius. In a saucepan, I'm going to take half a cup of honey with a little bit of water and the rind of a lemon. You can also add a cinnamon stick if you have that, and I'm going to simmer this to make a syrup. So into the saucepan, I'm going to turn this up, and I'm going to put some honey. I'm also going to add some lemon juice. So I'm just gonna wait for this to simmer and become like a sauce that we're gonna pour on top. We want it to get nice and thick, kind of like a consistency of a corn syrup. So when deciding to choose which movie to pair with our Tunisia night, Star Wars is an obvious one, so is Indiana Jones, so is The English Patient, which won an Oscar. I decided to go with a less obvious one. This is Empire of Dreams, and it shows them arriving in Africa, arriving in Tunisia with the cast and crew. Watching the behind the scenes, I see this movie in a completely different light. And also they're showing the locations that we went to in Tunisia, so you can watch the videos. Click up there and you can watch these exact locations. So here they are in the middle of the Sahara, George Lucas and crew. He's describing the challenges that he faced in filming in Tunisia, but this was a passion project, so he was able to power through. So Tunisia is one of the most hospitable countries that I've been to. The people there really value sharing food. I was really impressed by the food that I tried there. And one of the other things that Tunisia is known for is their pottery, which I was able to pick up while in Jerba. Jerba is known for their amazing craftsmen and pottery. I was able to fit this one in my luggage along with a few others. This is a beautiful plate made of ceramic. We visited the artisans who create this, and they are just extremely talented. And I'll be using this as the serving dish for the baklava. Okay, they're talking about one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars: A New Hope. This is when they arrive at Moses Spa, which is this village in the middle of Tatooine, planet Tatooine, and they go to the famous cantina scene. Exterior of the cantina was filmed in Tunisia, but the interior was filmed in film sets in London. The reason why Tunisia was chosen, one of the reasons, is George Lucas needed a desert location within close flying distance to London, which is the primary location where many of the interior spacecraft sets were filmed. Time for a peek. While the baklava is baking, I'm going to chop some pistachios, which will go on top as a presentation. So during this quarantine time, I've been doing a lot of cooking. It's a great way to get in the spirit of traveling to other countries by cooking some of their national dishes and famous cuisines. Baklava, of course, is known across the Mediterranean. It's known in Greece, it's known in Turkey. I tried many different varieties while I was in Tunisia. So it truly is a delight, and everyone has a very creative way of making it. And you might wonder, after watching these videos, which country should I go to in North Africa? If you're looking for more of like a luxurious foodie destination, Morocco. If you're looking for a country that literally has it all in a very compact country, Tunisia. Also, Tunisia is unique because you can get the nostalgia of these film sets. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, you will love it. Another thing that makes Tunisia really interesting is there isn't that much tourism there. So while we were there, we were some of the only US tourists and some of the only tourists in general. Whereas Egypt is very touristed, in fact, over-touristed, and rightfully so. The pyramids are something just mind-blowing. You want to choose Egypt because it's the only country where you can see sites with that amount of age and preservation. So if you are from Tunisia, I want to know, how do you make baklava, and what is your favorite dish from Tunisia? Comment below. I also want to know, what have you guys been cooking during quarantine time? Have you been trying some new recipes? Oh yeah, this is what I want. Turn this off. Oh my God. That's amazing. So we're going to drizzle some more olive oil on top. We are going to pour our syrup right on top. Ooh, you can hear it sizzle. That's what we want. For the finishing touch, some delicious pistachios. Here we have the finished product. We're gonna let it sit so it can soak up all of these flavors. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. The baklava is ready. I have Empire of Dreams, the story of the Star Wars Trilogy right here, which I will also link below so you can watch this. What's interesting to me is this film, nothing like it had ever been done before, and the odds were against him. So if you need something uplifting during this time, it's great to learn from the challenges of this film. Now, time to serve this in my beautiful dish that I got from Jerba. Oh, check that out, guys. Look at this. This is so beautiful. It smells so good too. By the way, aside from the honey, this is vegan. So for all the vegans out there, enjoy. Oh, look at the inside. It's like perfect rolls. Oh my God. It is so crispy. There's a hint of cinnamon. The honey goes with it just perfectly. The filo dough came out just crispy. What's great about baking this is that you don't really have to be perfect. You can truly improvise, and you can really eyeball it. It's not a lot of precision like normal baking. So Mike is pairing it with ice cream. Woo! How is it?
It's good.
Yeah. Woo! So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this Empire of Dreams Star Wars film, and I hope that you get a chance to watch this and bake this very soon. And once this quarantine is over, I hope you get a chance to visit Tunisia. Tunisia is truly a gem. It's very rare to go to a place where it's simply untouched by tourism, yet has the infrastructure you need to see the country. And Tunisia is that place. It truly feels like another world. like another planet, and I hope you get a chance to visit it very soon. On that note, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe down below because we'll be doing many more travel related videos every Travel Tuesday. Cheers.